Hey, how's it going, Web3 family? In today's video, we are going to be answering the lifelong question: which chain should you be picking for your NFT project? Should you launch on Ethereum or should you launch on Solana? In today's video, I'm going to be helping you make a decision over what chain is best for your project using a combination of data and also personal opinion, personal feedback over things I've seen working with over 10 different clients on the two chains, Ethereum and Solana. If this is the first time we meet, my name is Leon Aboud. I'm the founder of unfungible.xyz, an NFT strategic consulting and marketing agency that specializes at helping brands and projects develop their Web3 strategy and successfully market their project. So if after watching this video you have any questions related to NFT marketing, then feel free to book a free 30-minute consultation call with myself and my team by clicking on the link in the description of this video, so you can learn how we can help you, how we can help your project, and how you can get involved with us. Also, if you're the type of person that's a visual learner and you tend to retain information much better when it is in written format, then feel free to check out my Twitter @HeyThisIsLeon, where I regularly share a lot of the things that I share on this YouTube channel in written format, as well as a lot of other things, a lot of other observations that I see about related to NFT marketing that don't tend to make it into a full 20-minute video. So do check that out, and please do send me a message saying hello and that you came from YouTube. It would really make my day. So let's answer the question: which chain should you choose? Should you go with Ethereum or should you go with Solana, the two most popular chains for NFT projects? So there are two layers that we need to look at when answering this question. The first layer is the marketing layer. Which chain is it currently easier to market on? Is it easier to market your collection on Ethereum or is it easier to market on Solana? The second layer we're going to be looking at is the technology. Which technology fits your specific NFT collection better? Because some collections are just meant to be Ethereum collections. Others are meant to be Solana. And one thing I've noticed talking to a lot of projects founders is that most people are in the middle. They're on the fence where they're not sure if they should be on Solana or they're not sure if they should be on Ethereum. And most of the time they're on Ethereum just because this is the industry standard, while Solana could offer some advantages and could have some downfalls as well. So let's look into that. To answer the marketing question, which chain is it easier to market on? We first have to make a really big assumption. And that assumption is that we are advertising to people that are in the market to buy NFTs. As we've covered on a lot of other videos on this channel, there are two types of people we can market our NFT collection to: the existing NFT buyers, so people that are in the market of buying NFTs, and new buyers, people that have not interacted with NFTs before, they're not in the market of buying, but they could be convinced if advertised with a product that resonates with something that they like and that they want to support. And this is important because the reason we're not taking the second type of buyer into consideration is because the types of market dynamics that affect current NFT buyers do not affect new NFT buyers. A new NFT buyer doesn't necessarily know the difference between Ethereum or Solana. They are not vulnerable to the current swings in the market, and they don't know what is happening in the market. So regardless of what chain you are approaching them on, you will regardless need to take them through an education process of how do you buy an NFT. And the only difference in communication is that with Ethereum, you're going to show them how to set up a MetaMask. With Solana, you're going to show them how to set up a Phantom wallet. That is the only difference. In the current market conditions that we are in, picking your chains correctly could be the life or death of your project. During the bull market in January, February, March, being on Ethereum or Solana was more a question of preference and technology. But today, it could really mean the death or the survival of your project. So right here, I am on the daily Fear and Greed Index that is published by Origins NFT. This chart is actually published by one of my really good friends and colleague, Crypto Kermit. Do check him out on Twitter, my boy Crypto Kermit. Best content out there. This metric is based on a couple different indicators, which include volume, volatility, active wallet, gas, social media, Google Trends, and dominance. Volume, as we all know, we're currently at the lowest volume the entire NFT space has been since November. The other two metrics that are important are active wallets. So as you can see right here, active wallets, we are also hitting all-time lows when it comes to active wallet over the last couple months. And social media index right here, that one. So as you can see, the social media sentiment towards NFTs is a lot lower. And this metric is calculated by scraping data over conversations happening on Twitter that mention NFTs. And as you can see, NFTs are being mentioned a lot less in the NFT space. So basically, what does this chart tell us? People are fearful. Marketing to them is a lot harder. They're a lot more careful with the type of money they're spending, where they're spending it, and who are they giving it to. So number one, coming up with the right marketing strategy is crucial. And this is something you can learn from watching the other case studies that I've spoken about. And number two, which is as important, is your selection of chain is also incredibly important. There are two data points that are going to be answering this question right now. So right here, I am on DApp Radar. And you can see right here, we have the OpenSea statistics. So OpenSea statistics are a very good representation of the volume happening on Ethereum. And right here, again, DApp Radar, we have Magic Eden statistics, which is a very good metric over the volume happening on Solana. So let's look at Ethereum, first of all. So over the last 24 hours, Ethereum has had 26,000 users with 56,000 transactions and 12 million in volume. If we notice the historical activity right here, you can see that during the bull market in January, this was the peak right here. During the bull market, we have had 45,000 users, a daily volume of $134 million, and 83,000 transactions on a daily basis. And then around the end of February, early March, we started seeing those numbers dip, and since then they've been dipping. And as you can see right here from the chart, if you look at the volume in purple, you can see volume is literally at its all-time low that it's been. Users, we're still hanging on, but it is on a downward curve. And finally, transactions as well, it is following the user activity. So things are looking pretty grim right now on Ethereum, if you were to ask me. Now let's look at the exact same data points over at Solana. So on Solana, over the last 24 hours, we've had 28,000 users with 388,000 transactions, $6 million in volume. And now let's look at the historical activity. So as you can see, Solana didn't pump around the same time as Ethereum did. It was quiet here in January. We had about 11K users, and then things started to pick up in February. So in February, things were picking up. Ethereum was still in its bull market. And then April, and then end of April, this is when we saw the Solana summer start with OK Bears. So let's look at the peak right here to compare things with Solana, with Ethereum. So at its peak, we've had 42,000 users on Solana with a daily volume of 77 million and daily transactions of 312,000. And this is where things get incredibly interesting. Even though volume on Solana is incredibly down, like it was with Ethereum, the volume has been decreasing. I want you to look at the amount of daily users. You can see that we are still at the same levels as we were during the bull market, during the peak that happened. So in terms of users, we have not seen the same crash as we have on Ethereum. And in terms of transactions, we are still hitting record highs when it comes to daily transactions. If anything, new records are being set every couple weeks. So even though right now we are on a small downtrend with Solana, we can still see that transaction volume has been stable, has been solid. Let us focus on one specific metric, which are the transactions. So right now I am on OpenSea statistics, so Ethereum statistics. 60,000 users, 60,000 transactions over the last 24 hours. On Magic Eden, Solana, we have 388,000 transactions. In a nutshell, Solana has 7 times more transactions happening than it is on Ethereum. Let us say you are launching a 10K collection. For your collection to sell out in 24 hours on Ethereum, that means you will have to have about 20% of volume in the entire market, around 17-18%. So 17% of the daily volume happening on the entire Ethereum NFT blockchain has to be on your collection. That's for a 10K collection. On Solana, on the other hand, with 388,000 transactions per day, we are talking that you only need to have 3% of the market. So only 3% of market transactions need to be happening on your project. So this puts things a little bit into perspective to understand really the state of the market that we're in. One market you need to own for a day, about 17% of the market share of transactions. The other network you only need to own about 3% of transaction volume. So with those data points, I'm gonna let you think about it. Something that does require our attention is the volume in millions of dollars per day. OpenSea has about $13 million of volume per day, while Magic Eden has 6 million of volume per day. Again, this tells us something very interesting. Although Ethereum has 7 times less transactions than Solana does, Ethereum has 2 times more volume than Solana does. So what does that mean? People on Ethereum tend to buy NFTs that are much more expensive. More specifically, 14 times more expensive if you want to do the math. On Solana, people are transacting more often, but with a much lower market cap. And one thing to keep in mind as you're making a decision for your project is that Solana buyers may be more price sensitive as Ethereum buyers. However, if we go back to origins and we look at the volume happening on Ethereum, you're probably asking yourself, where are those $12 million of volume? Where are they going? And as you're going to see right here, as we're going to zoom in, this is the daily market summary from Origins. We're going to see that the Bored Ape Yacht Club is doing in and of itself almost 958 Ethereum. At the current price of Ethereum, that's about $1.5 million. So Bored Ape Yacht Club by themselves, they are doing about 12 to 13% of the market. Then we have Pudgy Penguins. They did 700 Ethereum almost. Mutant Ape Yacht Club, 500. Other Deed, Other Side, again, Bored Ape, 323 Ethereum. Lady Ape Club, ENS Domain, Azuki, Pixel, Genii. So as you can see, the top names are all blue chip projects. And then we have smaller projects. From this data, we can understand that a big chunk of the volume that is happening on Ethereum is being sucked by those blue chip projects. So you're probably asking yourself, what about the other projects that are currently minting on Ethereum? Let's look into those. So right now I am on IC Tools, and you can see I am on the Discover section where we look at projects that are currently minting. So minting now. And if we scroll right here, I want you to look at the cost section. If we scroll down, we're going to see that over the last 24 hours, all the projects that were minting were basically free collections. There's only this one project right here, Half Hiding NFT. They were able to mint 3,648. So that is currently what is happening on Ethereum. We are in a free mint meta, and most of the volume is going towards blue chip projects. So right now, I think we're starting to get an idea over what is the current state of the market. And if we can derive anything from the data that we've seen here, most of the volume, most of the transactions, most of the opportunities currently exist on Solana for us to build something strong there. Every time I hop on a call with potential clients, the first thing I ask them when they're on Ethereum, I literally ask them, have you considered moving to Solana? And their question is, should I? And then I kind of pitch them some of the data that I'm seeing in the market. And I don't say this because this video is brought to you by Magic Eden. It isn't. And that is because as project builders, being able to be in a space where people are buying, people are transacting is very important. You can't go and sell sand in the Sahara Desert. There's no one there and there's no market for it. And the same thing applies in the NFT market. Where are the people hanging out and where's the market going? I do need you to keep in mind that whatever I am talking about is very specific to this current timestamp, this current month that we're in the market. As we can see right here on June.com, I am on the OpenSea trading volume. And you can see we are at the lowest we have ever been in the last year. Like literally the lowest. Today, it is the end of the day and we've set a new all-time low from yesterday. So the idea is that things could change. There are a couple events in the near future that could create a new bull run, maybe in the Ethereum space. And I am going to be making a follow-up video if the pendulum does switch back. Ethereum 2.0, which is happening on September 15th, this could trigger a new bull run on Ethereum and for Ethereum NFTs, for example. So there's a lot of things that I'm currently looking at that do signal that the tide could shift, but it also could stay the way it is right now. Or we might see the emergence of a new chain. And I actually made a video about that I would invite you to check out. The second layer that we are going to be talking about, and that is kind of the layer that a lot of founders find themselves questioning, which chain technology fits your project better? And I won't be going very in depth in this section because most of my specialty lies in marketing and not necessarily in blockchain development. And my understanding of the technology is limited to some of the things that I'm going to be sharing right here in today's video. The first criteria we have to look at is the transaction cost. There's practically no gas fees on Solana. I believe it costs about 0.0025 cents to send and receive an NFT on Solana. Versus on Ethereum, every time you want to transact with an NFT, you are paying between $20 to $50 on OpenSea, depending on the time, depending on the day, depending on the volume that is happening in the market. Something that could be a very important criteria for some project. Number one, if your project has a lower cap, you're a small ticket project where you're trying to sell your NFT for $10, $20, $30, $50. People just won't pay $30 of gas to buy a $30 NFT. However, on Solana, people are willing to buy $1 NFT, $2 NFTs. We've seen the degen Meta come in where people are selling out collection at 0.05 Solana, which is $2. And that is the beauty of low transaction fees. Transaction fees are meant to come down with Ethereum 2.0, but are they going to come down to the level of Solana currently is? We've yet to see. Some of the experts I have spoken to have said no, we don't expect Ethereum gas fees to be that low. So what does that tell us? Projects that want to build an ecosystem that has a lot of transactions happening from within. For example, some of my really good friends here in Montreal, shout out to BR1, they are building the future of gaming with a P2E game where you need to pay $1 to spawn, and every time you kill someone, you get $1. So in that type of ecosystem where you constantly need to send, receive, and transact with the currency, it would just make sense why they built their P2E game on Solana and not on Ethereum. Another thing you have to keep in mind, and that is one of the biggest downfalls of Solana, is actually platform outages. Because of the centralized nature of Solana, the chain is notorious for massive outages. Just myself from experience, we were minting one of our clients, built a huge marketing strategy, everything was going great. We were right here in front of our computer, 1 minute before mint. We were looking, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, mint is live. And then we look at the counter, and that was minting on Magic Eden's launchpad. We look at the counter, and no transactions. Then we refresh, no transactions. Refresh, no transactions. 3 minutes in, still no transactions. It turns out that there was an outage happening on Solana, the moment where we were minting. So that kind of stalled the traction that we had with our mint. The project still ended up doing very well, but it did create that traction, a lot of momentum when it came to marketing. Discord hype, a lot of things were going wrong. And only 15 minutes after did the mint start rolling in. But between that time, a lot of people kind of zoned out. A lot of potential buyers kind of like forgot about the mint. So that is personal experience dealing with Solana. Another instance of this, right now I am on Pixel Guild, another project that did an absolutely incredible job with their marketing strategy, which I did do a case study on. Like literally leading up to their mint, average ping time jumped from 3,000 all the way to 30,000. And a lot of the mints were failing. So as you can see, adventurers, if mint is unsuccessful, refresh and try again. That is another example of how things can go wrong on Solana. On Ethereum, the equivalent of this is basically gas price going up. We've seen what gas wars look like. They could be brutal. Like during hyped mint, you could pay up to $1,000 in gas to be able to mint that NFT. And every platform has its pros and its cons. The last thing that would be productive to talk about is actually the cultural significance of each chain. A lot of project founders that want to launch on Ethereum that I talk to on a daily basis, a lot of them understand that Solana could be easier and cheaper to market there. But they still want to stick with Ethereum because in their mind, Ethereum is the big boy chain. And this is where all the big money, the smart money is hanging out on Ethereum. And they are correct to some extent. Ethereum is currently more cultural relevant than Solana, for example. And a lot of founders that are very long-term focused, that are building something that is really long-term, that has long-term potential, they they do want to launch on Ethereum because they do believe that Ethereum is the chain of the future and not necessarily Solana. Personally, the way I look at it is that no one is sure what is going to happen. I do think the future is going to be multi-chain. I do think Ethereum is going to have its own use cases and Solana is going to have its different use cases. As we've seen, ecosystems that have very high transaction rate would make more sense on Solana versus other use cases where there might not be very regular transactions. Those could fit on Ethereum. And that's why we've seen different brands with different backgrounds kind of experiment with the two chains. We've seen Tiffany & Co., luxury jewelry company, being on Ethereum because this is where the high perceived value exists. Versus, for example, we've seen brands like Tomorrowland. They're basically trying to sell a product for the everyday people. And these guys minted on Solana. The future is multi-chain. But what is going to happen in the future and which chain is going to be king? I'm excited to see what that is going to be. Web3 family, thank you so much for making it this far into the video. I really appreciate you. If you found this video helpful and got something out of it, then please don't forget to leave a like behind you. It does help the channel grow. Also, please do let me know in the comment section what other video or other topic would you like me to cover on this channel. I'm always open for suggestion. So yeah, please do that and I will be seeing you in the very next video. Ciao, ciao.